This morning, for the first time, we're hearing from one of the local restaurants claiming they were threatened by activists last week. Why they say they called police.
Plus, no more police in Madison schools. What's next for the school district and your students' safety after a big vote overnight?
And after heavy rain from showers and thunderstorms yesterday, I'll tell you what we're looking towards next in the First Warn forecast.
This is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, folks. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday, June 30th.
We are following some new developments this morning in the ongoing conversation about race in Madison.
Developing overnight, we're hearing for the first time from one of the restaurants that claim they were threatened by activists last week. Cooper's Tavern posted on their Facebook page that they know marginalized voices need to be heard and they support people's right to protest. They added they try to handle situations on their own instead of calling police, but they felt the safety of staff and customers was at risk when they called the police on Devenir Johnson last week. In their statement, Cooper says they understand protests can be disruptive and cause a disturbance, but they felt the incident went beyond that and crossed over into threats of physical violence. They say they called the police when they felt Johnson threatened to use a baseball bat he was carrying. Activists say Johnson didn't threaten anyone with the bat and was remaining peaceful even if he was disruptive. He's now facing federal extortion charges after prosecutors say he and two other men threatened violence at another business if they didn't donate money for their cause.
The Madison School Board is looking into security alternatives this morning after a unanimous vote to take school resource officers out of the city's high schools. That vote ends the district's contract with the Madison Police Department, effective immediately. Board President Gloria Reyes is a former police officer herself and has supported SROs in the past. She thanked them for their work last night, but she says there comes a time when a leader has to change direction to listen to the will of the people.
And now is the time for all institutions to take a hard look at what they do and how they do it and how they feed into the racist practices within their own institutions in our community.
Interim Madison Police Chief Vic Wall says in a statement that the 4 high school resource officers have played a progressive, instrumental role in maintaining a safe learning environment. He added, quote, "It's disappointing the program appears to be ending without recognition of the real work SROs have done or understanding of the consequences that will follow their removal."
Tonight, you have a chance to ask questions to one of the finalists hoping to become the next superintendent of Madison schools. The district is hosting 2 community-wide Facebook Live sessions for the 2 finalists. The first is tonight with Dr. Carlton Jenkins. That starts at 7:15 on the district's Facebook page and should run until about 8:30 tonight. Tomorrow night, Dr. Carol Kelly will be available to answer your questions. We'll have those links up on our website, channel3000.com. New findings are out this morning after Janesville police investigated one of their officers shooting a man back in March.
Sir, drop the knife, please. I want to help you. Please.
Body camera footage shows the moments after an Oklahoma man drove his trailer off I-3990 near Highway 14. He got out of the vehicle and had a knife to his neck. The investigation revealed that the officers asked him to drop the knife 31 times, stop 11 times, and sit down 9 times before he was shot. They also tried less lethal options, but they weren't effective. In April, the DA cleared the officer of wrongdoing. That man survived the shooting.
There is a new job listing on the City of Madison's website this morning after 2 deputy mayors announced their resignations. According to the Cap Times, those 2 deputies are Leslie Arancia and Cam Clay. McClay, a former MPD captain, said he took on this role to improve the quality of life for those who exist to serve. But he says those important decisions get lost in the noise surrounding political maneuvering. His last day was yesterday. Arancia, meanwhile, will be leaving the position to pursue a doctorate at UW-Madison and will work for the city until July.
Coronavirus cases in Wisconsin continued to trend up. The state reported more than 400 new cases yesterday. The good news is that for the second day in a row, there were no new deaths. The percentage of positive cases fell from about 7% Sunday to 5.3% yesterday, but you can see the 2-week trend, which is used to determine reopening plans, is still up. There's also a new metric from DHS that shows about 30% of Wisconsin counties are experiencing a high level of COVID-19 activity, including several in the southern and central parts of the state. Now, as case numbers soar across Senate Majority Leader Scott Fitzgerald here in Wisconsin, though, says he does not support shutting down businesses again or mandating masks. In a statement, he said, it's clear from the actions of Milwaukee and Madison that the responses will be regional. Bars and restaurants should follow the safe practices put forward by the WEDC to ensure that they can maintain proper social distancing. Last week, Dane County modified reopening plans after the health department found a cluster of patients had been to downtown bars. We reached out to Governor Evers to see if his administration is planning anything, but he did not respond to our questions.
6:05 right now. Heavy rain had some looking for higher ground yesterday. Quite the tropical-like storms with all this humidity. I couldn't believe how fast the water levels rose yesterday.
Yeah, that's exactly what tropical downpours will do. And if you really think about it, we've had a lot of rain over the past week or so. So yesterday, really even just leaving the station, driving down the road, there was high water right there. And really a lot of spots around south central Wisconsin picked up on some high water, especially if you were around Madison south over towards Janesville. That's where we saw a lot of the highest rainfall reports from yesterday. So wherever you see these purples, and you start to get to the darker purple closer towards the red, this is where radar estimated rainfall amounts were upwards of 2 to 3 inches of rainfall. And a lot of the heaviest rain missed the official reporting stations. So it's one of those deals where you had a heavy rain event, but on paper, it doesn't necessarily show up as one. Here are some of the other radar estimated rainfall amounts, upwards of 4 inches as you work your way just towards the east of Janesville there. In the meantime, Doppler track is free. We're starting out with sunshine this morning. There are a few thunderstorms throughout northern parts of the state, but I don't expect those to be impactful for us at all. Instead, today it's going to be the heat and the humidity. I like to call it the Florida thunderstorms that pop up in the afternoon. That's what we're going to be looking for. That chance is on the smaller side. But nonetheless, when it's this warm and this humid, that chance is there. 65 is where we're starting out temperature-wise right now. Prairie du Chien, good morning to you guys at 70. Viroqua, good morning at 66. Good morning to our friends over in Watertown and Juneau at 65 and 66, respectively, as well. Those dew points are well into the 60s, folks. So we're starting out the morning in the air that you can wear. Watch how temperatures begin to warm up, though, as we go throughout your morning. This is the afternoon. Temperatures will be into the upper 80s. Heat indices will be into the mid 90s. We'll cool down into the upper 60s overnight tonight. Tomorrow we do it again. We'll see a better chance for some showers and thunderstorms starting to arrive from the south and west, though. Big heat is expected as we move into the weekend. Temperatures will be closer to 90. In fact, they'll be in the low 90s, but those heat indices will be closer to 100. And with it being a big holiday weekend, a lot of folks not necessarily drinking water while they're out and about celebrating. We have the alert day in the forecast just to make sure everyone stays hydrated and wears those light colors while it feels like 100.
Very good reminder to be drinking your water on the 4th, Chris.
Yeah.
Thank you. 6:07 now. New information out of China where researchers say they've discovered a new type of swine flu that could possibly trigger another pandemic. That data, published in the U.S. science journal PNAS, says the virus is a genetic descendant of the 2009 H1N1 swine flu. This strain is called G4, reportedly, quote, has all of the essential hallmarks of being highly adapted to infect humans. This strain was discovered during a study conducted between 2011 and 2018, and according to The Guardian, more than 10 swine workers have been infected with the virus. Researchers say, though, there's currently no evidence that it can pass from person to person.
Russia says they're detecting no signs of a radiation emergency. It comes after reports last week claiming to detect unusually high levels of activity. The Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty Organization says that they detected evidence of nuclear fission during a routine scan of the atmosphere. Our representative from the Kremlin says they have no idea where the radiation is coming from and that they have not detected it. Finland's Nuclear Safety Authority says they've also detected some particles off their coast, but believe it could have come from maintenance on reactors. And for the 6th time in a month, U.S. planes have intercepted Russian planes near Alaska. The Russians were about 75 miles off the Aleutian Islands and stayed there for about 8 hours. This is the 10th incident this year. A spokesperson for NORAD says they've averaged about 7 of these intercepts since 2007. Back in May, Russia intercepted 2 US B-1 bombers flying over the Baltic and Black Seas near their border.
President Trump's campaign is temporarily losing access to its account on a video game streaming service. Twitch suspended the Trump campaign account yesterday, saying it violated site policies on hate. Twitch says the content in question is a video of a rally back in 2016 where the president called Mexicans rapists and criminals, along with a newer video from his recent rally in Tulsa. This comes as a page for the president's supporters gets banned from Reddit. Reddit says it removed that page called The Donald for consistently breaking rules on hate speech, despite several warnings. The page averaged around 8,000 daily visits. Its removal is part of the website's updated policy to address hate speech. Reddit removed about 2,000 other pages during the process, including a popular left-wing page, Chapo Trap House. That page had more than 42,000 active daily users.
10 after 6 right now. Investors are starting to get rattled from a growing movement to boycott advertising on Facebook. Facebook shares seem to rebound after dipping at early trading Monday and ending down 8% on Friday. It comes as large companies like Starbucks and Coca-Cola are pulling advertising. They say Facebook has failed to stop the spread of hate and misinformation. It's unclear how this could affect Facebook's bottom line since most of its ad revenue comes from smaller businesses. In an effort to curb the revolt, Facebook is pledging to ban hateful ads and label controversial posts from politicians. Amazon says it's giving out more than $500 million in bonuses to its frontline workers. The announcement follows criticism of the decision to roll back coronavirus-related hazard pay. The bonuses will be distributed to workers at Amazon and Whole Foods, as well as delivery drivers who work the month of June. Bonuses will be between $150 and $3,000, depending on the position. Workers, however, continue to say that pay increases are not enough and that the company is not adequately prioritizing employee safety.
6:11 on your Tuesday, and good Tuesday morning if you're just joining us this morning. We appreciate your company. Across Dane and Rock counties this morning, no crashes to report. If you're heading out the door, there are your drive times looking good for this Tuesday. That's your first one traffic.
All right, 6:11 now. Yet another delay to the movie industry. We'll tell you when AMC says you might finally be able to go back to the theater.
And we'll take a closer look at the coronavirus and nursing homes. Stay with us. You're watching News 3 Now this morning.
The price of gold is at a 7-year high. Get top cash on the spot for your gold at Diamond Select. Cash in today while the price of gold is high. Don't miss out. Get instant cash for your gold today at Diamond Select, downtown Stoughton.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Just like you, I had problems sleeping. I tried every pillow out there and nothing worked. 15 years ago, I invented MyPillow. It took me 2 years to develop because I wanted to have everything you would ever want in a pillow. I made sure that you could adjust my patented fill so you could have the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of your sleep position. I also wanted a pillow that would last, so I made MyPillow machine washable and dryable. I back MyPillow with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. Not only that, I do all my own manufacturing in my home state of Minnesota.
I really like the fact that it was made in the USA. I think that USA products are a better quality product. I've tried a lot of other pillows and nothing's worked like MyPillow.
I'm interrupting this commercial right now to give you deep discounts, not just on my pillows, but also my mattress toppers, sheets, and so much more. For example, you can get body pillows regular $89.99, now only $29.99, or MyPillow dog beds for as low as $19.99 with your promo code.
I used to think that sheets were just sheets. I got the Giza Dream sheets. They are the most comfortable sheets I've ever had.
The Go Anywhere pillow is so easy to just roll up and take anywhere I want to go.
Go Anywhere pillow is really comfortable, so that's what I really like. It's nice and supportive and it's nice and small.
The MyPillow topper, for the first time, has enabled me to have a cool night's sleep. I'm able to go to bed and just get rest.
That's 3 inches of wonderful that's in the MyPillow mattress topper. It's just like a firm cloud.
MyPillow helps me get a good night's sleep so I can do my job in the morning.
Go to MyPillow.com to get deep discounts, not just on my pillows, but so much more. For example, you get body pillows regular $89.99, now only $29.99, or MyPillow dog beds for as low as $19.99 with your promo code.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Here's to the road ahead. Trust Toyota to be here for you.
Now every hybrid vehicle in Toyota's lineup is available with 0% financing. With fewer stops for gas, Toyota hybrids give you the confidence to go farther. And with 0% financing, Toyota hybrids are even more thrilling. Enjoy more freedom in a Toyota hybrid. See your Toyota dealer or shop and buy online.
All from the brand you trust, today and tomorrow. Toyota.
At Diamond Select, our on-site goldsmith can create a beautiful one-of-a-kind piece. Whether it's repurposing an old ring or creating from a picture online, we're here to help you create jewelry of your dreams. Diamond Select, downtown Stoughton.
6:14 now. The body of a 9-year-old girl who was swept into the Rock River in Janesville last week has now been found. It was discovered by a boater almost a mile downstream from where she went under on Thursday. Over the past several days, crews shut down the Indian Ford Dam to help with the search in a portion of the river that is particularly dangerous. And in Stoughton this morning, crews are continuing to look for a 59-year-old man in Lake Kaganza. Dane County deputies said Saturday that a man wearing black pants and no shirt jumped off a boat shortly after 7 o'clock. Officials are now calling it a recovery mission.
In Washington, the body of a missing hiker at Mount Rainier National Park has been found. According to USA Today, Matthew Bunker was found at the base of Liberty Ridge. He was separated from his skiing partner last week. Today, the search will continue on the ground and from the air for 2 more missing hikers. The park says they will not issue any more updates until those hikers are found.
Right now, a second batch of Saharan dust is headed for the U.S. Forecasters say it's not expected to be as thick as the one that hit the country last week. The second dust plume is predicted to reach the Gulf of Mexico this week, impacting a number of southern states. It can cause poor air quality and irritate people with allergies and asthma. Saharan dust levels, they reach the U.S. every year, but this year it's been the worst in decades. Chris Reese out on the patio this morning tracking it for us this morning, Chris, and we're seeing that right here in Wisconsin as well.
Indeed we are. That Saharan dust from that first batch made it all the way towards the Canadian border, and we have some of that right now over southern Wisconsin. Some of the positive impacts from it are just seeing beautiful sunsets and sunrises, which if you've looked out since really about Friday last week, we have seen plenty of those. That's about when that dust arrived. We still have some of that over us here in south central Wisconsin now. That second batch is already starting to impact a lot of the Gulf Coast states. That's going to move northward, and there's more where that came from. There are more batches of Saharan dust moving across the Atlantic basin right now. One of the other positive impacts, by the way, is this truly inhibits the tropical activity that we see in the Atlantic Ocean. It also inhibits some of the thunderstorm activity. So that's why today's chance for storms is not necessarily as high as yesterday, because our dust in the air today is a little bit higher than yesterday. Nonetheless, we do have a small storm chance later on this afternoon. We'll watch that closely. Temperatures are starting out in the 60s and 70s. Dew points are into the 60s as well, so it is humid as you begin to step outside. Plan your day, though, knowing that we will have plenty of dry hours. It's just going to be very warm as you're out. Temperatures should top out right around 88 today with those heat indices around 95 to 97.
All right, Chris, thank you. 6:17 is your time this morning, and developing right now, I'm keeping an eye on Europe as they are set to make public today a list of countries whose citizens will be allowed to travel there once again. That list is expected to contain up to 15 countries deemed comparably safe in Europe in their handling of the coronavirus. It will be updated every 2 weeks with countries added or dropped depending on how they're keeping the disease under control. Americans are likely to be refused entry for at least another 2 weeks as coronavirus cases are surging here.
A new survey out this morning shows European countries are losing confidence in the U.S. as a world leader because of our response to the pandemic. That survey from the European Council of Foreign Relations found on average 60% of Europeans have a negative attitude toward Americans. Portugal and Denmark top that list. France and Germany also showing numbers in the high 60s. In those two countries, nearly 50% said their view on Americans has worsened a lot during the pandemic.
New data from the New York Times shows that 43% of all coronavirus deaths in the U.S. are linked to nursing homes. At least 54,000 residents and workers have died from outbreaks in nursing homes. As of June 26, more than 282,000 cases were reported between some 12,000 facilities. That accounts for about 11% of all cases here in the country. New Hampshire shows the most nursing home deaths, accounting for about 80% of fatalities there. Rhode Island and Minnesota are the next two, each with 77% of their deaths. A new study from the UK shows there is no evidence that taking vitamin D will prevent you from getting coronavirus. Public health experts there started a rapid study of the vitamin after concerns about the disproportionate number of Black and Asian people contracting the virus. The thought was that they would be more vulnerable because darker skin absorbs less vitamin D from the sun. According to The Guardian, the National Institute for Health and Care Excellence says they found no evidence supporting the benefit of vitamin D in regards to COVID-19.
AMC Theaters is pushing back its reopening date this morning. The company was aiming to open July 15th. The move comes, though, as Disney's Mulan and the movie Tenet were pushed back to the middle of August. AMC said it now expects to open 450 of its 600 theaters on July 30th. The company is hoping to be fully operational sometime in August. Broadway also pushing back its reopening. Curtains will stay down for the rest of the year. The Broadway League is offering refunds and exchanges for performances through January 3rd. Performances aren't projected to resume until early 2021. Tickets for next winter and spring are expected to go on sale in the coming weeks, though. Broadway shows shut down March 12th. That's its longest shutdown ever.
20 minutes past 6 o'clock on this Tuesday, and still ahead for us. We're following new developments as Madison police are conducting an internal investigation after a viral video.
Also coming up in the next half hour, we're learning more about reports that the White House knew about bounties placed on U.S. soldiers.
Stay with us. News 3 Now this morning. We'll be right back.
With a nursing degree, helping others went from a job to a career.
This summer, get back to where you belong, along 60 miles of beautiful wide open beaches, where family vacations have never been so much fun. With every sunrise and each high tide, the beach is calling you to raise your spirits, make you smile, and bring your family closer together. So stop dreaming and start booking, because we can't wait for you to get here. Visit Myrtle Beach and discover why happiness comes in waves.
Relax, unwind, remain safe and secure in a new bath, shower, or walk-in tub from Mad City Baths, Wisconsin's #1 ranked remodeler. Now during our summer spectacular sale, get a new bath or shower for only $49.95. Ask about great financing and call during this program for a free $100 Walmart or Amazon gift card with your in-home estimate. And be sure to ask about virtual online estimates.
America, we want to help get you back to it. And here's how, with the Ford Promise. Visit your Ford dealer, finance a new, certified pre-owned or used vehicle through Ford Credit, and if you lose your job, you can return it for up to 1 year from the day you bought it. You can also get 0% APR financing for 72 months across the Ford lineup. Let us help get you back to it with the Ford Promise.
Seeing the joy that people feel when they share a meal with family and friends, that's why we do this. The laughter of kids around the table, the thrill of families driving through for a treat, the delight of not having to cook, and instead letting us safely serve you. It all comes back to taking care of each other. And for that, we'll be here with your favorites, and always a smile.
If you have a fear of overpaying, you have FOOP. But don't worry, US Cellular has your back with the Samsung Galaxy S25G. Free when you switch, plus no activation fees. Stream without disruption, capture and post without restriction, and do it all without FOOP. Switch and get a free Samsung Galaxy S25G at US Cellular. Choose fair.
Hercules. I have been expecting you.
Aha! And I brought you a gift so you can fight properly. Red Bull.
Oh!
How nice.
Of you.
But also
rather
stupid.
Mine.
Mine.
No, mine.
No, mine.
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 Red Bull gives you wings.
Welcome back. We always ask you to share your morning with us. Matt is giving us a reason to hit the lake, hit the river this 4th of July. Look at that.
Yeah, it looks great. Excellent photo, Matt. Thanks for sending that in. We want to see what you're up to in the morning. Snap a pic, post it on our social media pages. Use the hashtag MyNews3Morning, and we'll show our favorites on the air.
Well, we've got a story that's going to make you hungry this morning, guys. Papa John's has a new pizza with a famous face It's called the Shaq-a-Roni. Check it out. It's available for a limited time. This 16-inch extra large pie has 66 pieces of pepperoni. $1 from the sale of each pizza will go to a foundation that supports communities. Now, the goal is to support equality, fairness, respect, and opportunity for all. The standard Papa John's pizza has 10 slices. This one has 8 huge slices. Shaquille O'Neal says he can eat one in a single sitting. I know I can. What about you guys?
I would try. I love pizza so much. It's so good.
It's my favorite.
We did some research.
Oh, man.
And the calorie count here, not to ruin your day.
Oh, no, my gosh.
Too bad. This is news you can use.
Don't be that.
News you can use. 4,100 calories.
Come on.
In a slice or the whole pizza?
The whole pizza.
Okay.
That's not
So
that
that's
bad.
like
If you divide that.
a couple of days.
I'm trying to justify it. That's great.
Oh my gosh.
Josh, I was
410
laughing.
calories a slice.
Now I'm embarrassed. There's a reason I don't keep pizza at home, because if I make it, I eat the entire thing.
Hey, that's protein. That's 66 pieces of pure pepperoni protein there. I love it. Let's do it.
I don't know if there's enough positive benefits from it, but
I was laughing at you earlier because you said 6-inch instead of 16, and I was like,
Oh, yeah.
6-inch extra large. What is going on here?
that's like bite size.
I know. I was like, what? Oh my gosh.
Let's turn to the forecast now. Maybe take the pizza outside today. I don't know. It's kind of humid though.
I'm eating it in the air AC. I was like, I am not going outside if I don't have to. That's for sure, unless I'm in a pool. Maybe.
There you go.
But yeah,
Pizza in
that
the
would
pool.
be a good place to be later on today. We are watching at least a small chance of showers and thunderstorms, but my expectation is that most of us will be dry pretty much all day long. That chance for showers will be very small. A little bit of dust on the horizon there. We're at 65 right now, 70 in Mineral Point. We're going to watch these temperatures go all the way up towards 88 for today's high.
All right. Thanks, Chris. Quick break, and we're back.
3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Home is dancing because no one's watching. Home is a reason to disturb the peace. Home is laughter. Home is where heads come to rest. A place to let go, and a place to find again. At Stanley Steamer, we love home, and we know that a clean home is a healthy home. We're ready when you are.
At Papa Murphy's, we knead seriously, chop seriously, and shred seriously. Because we're serious about Tuesdays, even if you're not. Every Tuesday, get a large pizza for just $10. Papa Murphy's. Change the way you pizza.
This pen will write for a mile. It can change lives too. Just ask Jeff. He'll tell you what he makes at IBVI makes a difference. See how a career at IBVI changed Jeff's life. And see how it can change your life too at IBVIcan.org.
There's time for adventure, there's people to treasure, and moments that no one can hold. There's so much to see when you're wandering free on this little blue world we call home. We call home, the only one we've ever known.
America, we want to help get you back to it. And here's how, with the Ford Promise. Visit your Ford dealer. Finance a new, certified pre-owned or used vehicle through Ford Credit, and if you lose your job, you can return it for up to 1 year from the day you bought it. You can also get 0% APR financing for 72 months across the Ford lineup. Let us help get you back to it with the Ford Promise.
You may not know them. The coffee shop owner who knows your order. The couple who saves your seats. The family down the street who greets you with a smile. They've been there for you. Now you can be there for them. Donate today and help our friends and neighbors keep their power on.
On the next Live at 4, we'll talk with UW's leading COVID-19 expert on the current rise in cases.
And we'll check out digital tintypes, old-time photographs with the Wisconsin Historical Society.
An internal investigation prompted by a viral video. The interaction and what Madison police have yet to tell us about it.
We're keeping our eyes on the temperatures, the heat index, and more chances for a few showers and thunderstorms. I'll break it all down in the First Warn forecast.
This is News 3 Now this morning.
Good Tuesday morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Noon this morning, Madison police are opening up an internal investigation into an interaction between an officer and a bystander.
Mallory Sauer posted a video on Facebook yesterday that's now going viral. Take a look at part of that interaction.
Spoken to? Yeah, that's fine. I just complaint in front of people. Right in my face, excuse me, but I'm just letting you know he's being contacted for an exposure by four different people who
There's
called.
Coronavirus right now?
4 different people
That's
called
great.
about
He's also a
exposure
child.
complaint. Right.
So I want to make sure that he's okay.
I'm explaining why we are speaking to this young man.
As you can see right there, the officer who approached Sauer was not wearing a mask and got within inches of her face as she was recording. She later approaches the woman again, brushing past her on her way to her squad car. Sauer repeatedly told the officer she should be wearing a mask because of the pandemic. You can also see the other officer in this video in the background is wearing a mask, taking notes while speaking with the young man. At the end of the video, you can see the man starting to walk away, seemingly without any citation.
Madison police told us their professional standards and Internal Affairs Division is leading the investigation. While that's going on, it's unclear whether the officer in the video will continue working.
Take a look at this graph right here. Public health officials locally are pushing the importance of mask wearing as we continue to see this orange line go up, a trend going up in positive cases. The good news, we're entering the third day since the last reported coronavirus death in Wisconsin. 18% of the state's more than 28,000 cases are still active. Dane County, meanwhile, is now considered to have a high activity level for the coronavirus after seeing more than 500 new cases in just the past week. That's updated from medium last week. The DHS data shows Rock County still has high activity as well. Take a look at the key on the left side of your screen. It's going to help you identify where your county lays. All counties surrounding Dane County are either at a high or medium activity level.
Doctors at UW Health are concerned about the upward trend. They're worried about the risk of spreading the virus as more people are tempted by parties, family gatherings, and vacations. They want to remind everyone we still need to practice social distancing. Same with wearing a mask and washing your hands. Doctors say staying home is still the safest option. Dr. Anthony Fauci will testify before the Senate today as the U.S. passes 2.5 million confirmed coronavirus cases. The nation's top infectious disease expert and the CDC's Robert Redfield will update lawmakers on the latest government efforts to slow the spread. 16 states, including Texas and California, are trying to slow the spread by putting restrictions back on bars, beaches, and restaurants.
Wisconsin isn't the only state seeing a rise in cases. We're one of at least 39. Now, some of those states are starting to roll back their reopening plans. 16 states, including Texas, California, and Florida, are trying to slow the spread by putting restrictions back on bars, beaches, and restaurants. New Jersey is also scrapping its plan to reopen indoor dining, and New York could soon follow suit. Wisconsin, though, not one of those states. In fact, the city of Milwaukee will move ahead with its reopening plan, entering phase 4 tomorrow. Bars and restaurants there will be able to open at 50% capacity. That's double what's allowed right now. Wisconsin won't be able to implement any statewide restrictions. You'll remember the Supreme Court ruled Governor Evers does not have the authority to make those sweeping decisions. Senate Majority Leader Scott Fitzgerald says responses will remain regional, and bars and restaurants should be following safety practices laid out by the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation.
Jacksonville, Florida is working on plans to prevent the spread of the virus ahead of the Republican National Convention. Politico reports the city's Republican mayor could require masks for everyone in Jacksonville. That announcement could happen today. People would have to wear masks inside but not outside. It's unclear whether the mask order would still be in place by the time the convention starts on August 24th. Earlier this month, the Trump administration pushed to move the convention out of North Carolina because of potential coronavirus restrictions. A new court ruling is changing how Wisconsin votes. A federal appeals court is reinstating early voting limits and is upholding voter ID restrictions in Wisconsin. According to the Journal Sentinel, the decision limits early voting to 2 weeks before an election. 3 judges also banned most voters from having absentee ballots emailed or faxed to them. A lower court judge originally struck down many of the state's election laws in 2016 because they found they disproportionately impacted minorities' ability to vote. But now the appeals judge, those judges say that GOP lawmakers wrote the laws to help their party and not to specifically discriminate against anyone based on race.
New this morning, data shows nearly twice as many properties could be susceptible to flood damage than what government estimates show. According to the New York Times, more than 14.5 million properties are at risk. That's nearly twice as many as the 8.7 million properties shown on federal maps. You can see the difference in those maps right there on your screen. Now let's take a look at what southern Wisconsin looks like. In Dane County, FEMA estimates just over 2% of properties are at risk of flooding, but the New York Times says it's actually more like 6.9%. In Iowa County, the difference even bigger. According to FEMA, 4.7% of properties are at risk, but by the New York Times analysis, it's closer to 15%. And for Grant County, there's an 11% difference. Part of the problem here is that FEMA numbers are not designed to account for flooding from intense rainfall, which is an increasing risk because of global warming.
We're seeing a lot of that play out here in Wisconsin after yesterday's heavy rain. I tell you what, it sure came down. You can still feel the moisture out there this morning.
Yeah, that's the tropical nature of the atmosphere that we're in, Josh. When you get as humid as we've been, any thunderstorm that goes up and taps into that moisture and it doesn't have anything to move it along, it's going to put down a lot of rain. That's exactly what we saw yesterday. The potential for that is there again today, though it's a little bit less than it was yesterday. We're starting out dry. Sunshine is the case outside. Temperatures are into the mid-60s, even some upper 60s. 70 showing up for Mineral Point and Prairie du Chien. Good morning to Viroqua, coming in at 68. You work your way up towards Juneau at 68 as well. Watertown coming in 1 degree warmer than Madison right now at 66. Dew points are also into the 60s, though, so this does mean it's yet another day where we are feeling the humidity, although these dew points are a little bit less than they were yesterday. So the air is maybe not as hot and heavy as it was, but nonetheless, it's still going to be sticky out there. This is going to feel the dew points, or the feels like temperature, rather, as we move into the afternoon. This is lunchtime. Notice how a lot of the feels like temperatures at this point are into the lower 90s. We get you towards the peak heating of the day. We're going to see the feels like temperatures going all the way into the upper 90s. Once again, flirting with that 100-degree mark. So keep that in mind. The heat index is certainly going to be something to be mindful of. Meanwhile, we are still clear on Doppler track. No showers or thunderstorms for us at the moment. We're staying that way at least for the next couple of hours. We do have some showers or thunderstorms towards the north. I don't expect those to impact us at all, but we still have the stationary front across the region with the cold front that's going to be approaching from the west. This means we're staying unsettled with at least a minor chance for some showers or thunderstorms each and every day. The better chance right now is going to be tomorrow as opposed to today. This afternoon, temperatures top out around 88. We're cooling down towards 69. Here we are tomorrow with temperatures in the upper 80s again when you saw those chances for showers and thunderstorms just popping up here or there. 90s return by Friday. We'll also see 90s for the holiday weekend and into early next week. Alert days are in place for your Saturday and Sunday.
Definitely a week to stay hydrated, Chris.
Yes, it is.
All right, thank you. An update to breaking news I've been following this week. Within the last 20 minutes, I've learned 8 Democratic lawmakers will be briefed today on allegations that Russia secretly offered bounties to the Taliban for the deaths of American soldiers. This morning, we learned White House officials knew of the information as early as March of last year. The assessment was included in at least one of President Trump's written daily intelligence briefings at the time. The president is continuing to say he wasn't briefed because the intelligence wasn't verified, but according to the Washington Post, the CIA has been analyzing the intelligence for several months. National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien is now responding to the allegations, saying the president was never briefed, but the administration and the National Security Council have been preparing if the situation warranted action. Nowhere in the statement does it mention the information being included in the president's briefing.
Breaking overnight, 3 Aurora police officers are under investigation for taking inappropriate pictures at a memorial for Elijah McClain. Our affiliate in Colorado reports the pictures show officers reenacting the chokehold, which was used on McClain before he died. The department's interim chief released a statement overnight saying the investigation was finished last night and that the findings will be released at some point, including reports, photos, and officer names. Aurora police stopped McClain in August of 2019 after a caller said he looked suspicious. The investigation was recently reopened as protesters nationwide demanded the officers and paramedics involved be fired. The department removed the officers involved from patrol duty last week.
Louisville's Government Oversight Committee will launch an investigation into how the mayor handled the fatal police shooting of Breonna Taylor. USA Today reports the Louisville Metro Council does have subpoena powers and will be the ones doing the probe. It's expected to look into what happened leading up to and following Taylor's death, along with government transparency and the use of force during protests in the weeks after. Police shot and killed Taylor after they went into her home on a no-knock search warrant. Police say they did knock and announce themselves, but neighbors dispute that. One of the 4 officers charged in George Floyd's death, meanwhile, plans to plead not guilty, claiming self-defense and reasonable use of force. The lawyer for J. Alexander Kang, the man on the left side of your screen here, filed a brief outlining the plan. Kang and the other 3 officers appeared before a judge for preliminary hearings this week. Derek Chauvin is facing second-degree murder charges. Kang, Thomas Lane, and Tu Tao are all facing charges of aiding and abetting.
6:40 right now. New video into the newsroom of a police car driving into a crowd of protesters over the weekend in Detroit, Michigan. The police chief there is defending the officers involved, saying officers thought they were being shot at when the back window of the cruiser was smashed. The protesters had taken over part of a highway and started surrounding cars and chanting. Some can be seen jumping onto the hood of the car, others falling from it as police sped off. The incident is under investigation.
Just about 6:41 on your Tuesday. Let's take a look at the roads. If you're heading out this morning, looks like we are seeing a little bit more traffic volume along Park Street as you approach downtown. East Washington looking pretty good, and a few delays down near McFarland, especially in the southbound lanes of Highway 51. If you're hopping on the Beltline from the interstate, you might have a few slowdowns as you approach the Stoughton Road interchange, but other than that, you should be smooth sailing as you head out the door. Let's take a live look outside. Just about 6:42 on your Tuesday. Beautiful shot of the sunrise. Definitely a lot of moisture in the air. Very humid to start us off. Chris will have more on that humidity and also the latest on the storm chances coming up.
Plus, touching your face, one of the ways you can easily get the coronavirus, but stopping the habit, easier said than done. We're going to explain how one teen wants to help you do that. That's when News 3 Now This Morning returns.
Welcome to the all-new Dwellings.
Are you one of the 100 million Americans that suffer from chronic pain? Hi there, my name is Tim O'Brien, owner of The Healthy Place. I want you to know about an all-natural product called Cura Relief. With nutrients like boswellia and curcumin, it targets the root of your pain, inflammation. Most people feel a difference in less than 45 minutes. Stop the pain and the drugs naturally with Cura Relief. Stop by one of our 4 Madison-based locations or check us out online at findyourhealthyplace.com. The Healthy Place.
Happy 4th of July Super Sale, happening this week at the Brothers Maine. Come in now for more savings on more brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and Amana. We make upgrading your home more convenient at Maine with up to 18 months of 0% financing and expert-free delivery. Get more at the 4th of July Super Sale. More selection, more savings, and more satisfaction. And happy birthday, USA, from the Brothers Maine, your local store for more since 1938.
Feldco season is here, and the signs are all around us. Like free installation on all windows, siding, and doors, and no interest for 1 year. It's time to jump on that home renovation project, and free installation all from the comfort of home. That gives you time to make the most of your Feldco season.
Free installation ends soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
America, we want to help get you back to it. And here's how with the Ford Promise. Visit your Ford dealer. Finance a new, certified pre-owned or used vehicle through Ford Credit, and if you lose your job, you can return it for up to 1 year from the day you bought it. You can also get 0% APR financing for 72 months across the Ford lineup. Let us help get you back to it with the Ford Promise.
Dwellings, Madison's best kept $150 secret. Now open in Fitchburg.
Madison's not happy treating people differently because of their race.
I've learned when I've been out reporting on the front lines that everyone is impacted differently, but it's also important to take some time to not judge people and to understand where they're coming from and why they might be angry or why they might be sad.
This is our opportunity. You do see the best in some people coming out.
This time feels different. This time, I think, a real conversation may begin.
Just about 6:45. One of the ways to prevent getting COVID-19 is to keep your hands off your face. But for anybody who's tried to do that, it's easier said than done.
Yeah, trying to force yourself not to do it is tough, but there is a 15-year-old out there in the UK that thinks he's got a way to make it easier. Check this out. Max Melia here, he is raising money for a watch that he created. It's called the Vibe Pro. It uses special algorithms to predict when it thinks you're raising your hand toward your face, and then it vibrates to warn you. He says he came up with the idea, and it even makes a sound, too. He came up with this idea a few years ago with his mom during cold and flu season, but coronavirus pushed his dream to a reality. He's trying to raise money to get this thing launched. He's got about $15,000 of his $74,000 goal so far. If he reaches the goal soon, the watch could be available as soon as September.
This is like one of those dog collars that like shocks you. Or, you know?
This is the exact same thing.
Like an electric fence, that's the way I think of it. Boy, if you didn't have that little ping noise, you'd wonder what in the world this guy is doing. Moving his hand around like that. Like...
Waving his hands.
Honestly, I was sitting here just looking at the radar, and that sound went off, and I thought it was a smoke detector. It jumped up for a second. I was like, what's going on?
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, that'd wake you up right away, that's for sure.
Dinner's ready.
Well, something that woke me up yesterday or my afternoon nap were those thunderstorms. I could not believe between the thunder and there are also some hail against my windows, too.
Yep, you were certainly on the west side of town.
Yes.
Yeah, so we did have some hail come down yesterday with those thunderstorms. Things will likely be a little bit more quiet today, but we still at least have a chance to see some of those showers of thunderstorms around here. Now, watching Doppler track, already this morning, most of Wisconsin is quiet, but we do at least see a couple of showers and storms well towards the north, right around Superior or so. Here throughout south central Wisconsin, quiet is what we are, quiet is what we will be as we go through the next couple of hours at a minimum. Still a hazy sky out there. There's actually a little layer of some Saharan dust that we have in our sky. That might mess with the allergies just a bit, but otherwise look for a beautiful sunset if we were able to see one later on. 65 is the temperature right now. 72 as you work your way towards Janesville. Mineral Point coming in at 70. Dew points are also into the 60s and low 70s. So we're starting to see that humidity really creep up once again as we go throughout the day. Here's what you can expect. Look for sunshine, 84 by lunchtime. By the way, the feels like temperature around lunch should be closer to 93. And then we see a chance of some showers and thunderstorms later on this afternoon.
100% humidity, man.
That's where we're at right now.
Thanks, Chris. Coming up in the sprint, a company is offering you a full last year. We'll tell you which company and how you can cash in.
Lose 3 is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Who am I? Wow, is that really me?
Hi, I'm Annette, and I'm an actress. Under eye bags and wrinkles are so frustrating. They're so hard to hide and so hard to get rid of. I came across Plexiderm, and I was so excited. We have a model. His name is Richie, and all he's doing is taking a small amount. It's so powerful. That's all it takes. This 4th of July, in just 10 minutes, you'll look incredible. This is something that you can do in the convenience of your own home. It's a cream. It's a topical. It literally creates an invisible layer that tightens cleans the skin and smooths it out. All you do is gently rub it underneath your eyes, on your fine lines and wrinkles, and it visibly disappears in as little as 10 minutes.
My real true opinion is holy words I can't say on camera. This is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I could feel it just lifting my skin. It was amazing. It feels good. It feels great. Looks even better.
I can't even believe that this worked. I was a little skeptical, I am not going to lie, because I saw people online with it and I'm like, yeah, right, that can't possibly work. I'm telling you, it really works.
I thought I might see a little difference, but to see that big of a difference, and I felt something happening, but I had no idea. Like, I have so many dark circles, I have the puffiness, I have the lines. Like, it's amazing. I love it.
I did this to my father at home because I was skeptical. Yes, I admit it. 4 minutes, 34 seconds. The appearance of his under eye bag was completely gone. We were screaming. You have an event, you have any of those moments where you want to feel the best about yourself. I am telling you, the videos that you see on social media and TV are real. This 4th of July is the best time to get Plexiderm for $14.95 and see it work for yourself after your first application. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
I got your back, you got mine. Think about you all the time. Together we can come through. That's what love's made of. When it's made with love, it's made to be shared.
As the weather gets warmer, get outside and see all the beauty Wisconsin has to offer. And let Meineke get you there safely. Make an appointment and save $20 on any oil change package. Prices starting as low as $14.99. Meineke Car Care Center is here to help.
Garver. Garver.
Gather. Ing. Gathering.
Garver.
Gathering.
Garv.
Garvering.
A socially responsible gathering where a maximum of 250 people enjoy thirst-quenching drinks, delicious food, and the arts in a safe, clean, and touchless outdoor environment. Let's go Garvering. Visit thegarverfeedmill.com for dates and details starting June 11th.
Brought to you by News 3 Now, Madison Magazine, and the Garver Feed Mill.
Connect with News 3 Now on Facebook Messenger.
6:51, time for the morning sprint.
And we start with new information on an internal investigation involving a Madison police officer. Mallory Sauer posted this video on Facebook yesterday that's going viral. The officer who approached Sauer was not wearing a mask and got within inches of her face as she was recording. Sauer repeatedly told the officer that she should be wearing a mask because of the pandemic. There's another officer at the scene wearing a mask, taking notes while speaking with the young man. Madison Police told us their Professional Standards and Internal Affairs Division is leading the investigation. While that's going on, it's unclear whether the officer in the video will continue working.
Public health officials, both national and local, are pushing the importance of mask wearing as we continue to see an upward trend in positive cases. You're taking a look at that line right now. The good news, though, we are entering the 3rd day since the last reported coronavirus death in the state. 18% of Wisconsin's more than 28,000 cases are still active.
It's really concerning that our numbers are frankly getting a little bit out of control right now.
Doctors at UW Health are worried about the risk of spreading the virus as more people are tempted by parties, family gatherings, and vacations. They want to remind everyone we still need to practice social distancing, same with wearing a mask and washing your hands. Doctors say staying at home is still the safest option.
Florida State University will no longer allow its employees to care for their children while working from home. Starting August 7th, parents will need to find childcare or else their remote work privileges could be taken back. According to the university, they can take away remote work if employees are unable to do the essential functions of their job, if they don't follow requirements outlined in their work agreement, or if remote work is no longer needed.
An update within the last half hour, we've learned 8 Democratic lawmakers will be briefed on allegations that Russia secretly offered bounties to the Taliban for the deaths of American soldiers. Earlier this morning, we learned White House officials knew of the information as early as March of last year. The assessment was included in at least one of President Trump's written daily intelligence briefings at the time. The president continues to say he wasn't briefed because the intelligence wasn't verified, but CBS News reports it's not unusual for the president to be given assessments that aren't completely verified.
The Madison School District is exploring alternatives to school resource officers after unanimously voting to end their contract with the Madison Police Department. Many board members highlighted the disproportionate negative impacts on brown and black students.
Interim Police Chief Vic Wall says in a statement that 4 school resource officers have played a progressive, instrumental role in maintaining a safe learning environment, and that it's disappointing that the program seems to be ending without recognition of the real work that SROs have done or the consequences that will happen because of their removal.
New data into the newsroom in the last hour shows while students of color are becoming a bigger part of the fabric of the state's K-12 population, the state's teacher workforce is staying relatively white. The Wisconsin Policy Forum finds just over 30% of Wisconsin public school students are students of color, but only 5.6% of teachers are people of color. Locally, nearly 58% of Madison's school district is made up of students of color versus 13.6% of teachers.
One of the 4 police officers charged in George Floyd's death plans to plead not guilty, claiming self-defense and reasonable use of force. The lawyer for J. Alexander Kang, the man on the left of your screen, filed a brief outlining the plan. Kang and the 3 other officers appeared before a judge for preliminary hearings yesterday. Derek Chauvin is facing second-degree murder charges. Kang, Thomas Lane, and Total are facing aiding and abetting charges.
Ford will let you return your car if you lose your job. The company says if you get fired within a year of buying a new Ford car, truck, or SUV, you can return it at no cost. The Ford Promise Plan will pay for the difference between what the car is worth at the time and what the customer still owes, up to $15,000. They say that limit should be more than enough to cover the 1-year loss in value for most of their vehicles.
The IRS will not be extending the tax deadline again. It's coming up July 15th. It was postponed from April 15th because of the coronavirus. For people who can't meet this deadline, they can still file for an extension of October 15th on the IRS website.
We have an update on the silver alert we've been reporting on all morning. Some good news here. 76-year-old Kathleen Truman was found safe just after 6 a.m. That silver alert is now canceled. She'd gone missing just before 2 yesterday afternoon in Janesville.
More good news to start off your Tuesday. Traffic looking good. If you're heading out the door right now across Madison, no crashes to report. Just a couple of delays near the Stoughton Road Beltline interchange. And if you're heading up Park Street and into downtown, you'll probably have a few slowdowns there. Drive times, though, as you're heading inbound, all green to start us off. That's your first warn traffic.
We've jumped up to 68 degrees now, so we're starting to warm up. Dew points are on the increase as well throughout south central Wisconsin. We're gearing up for another steamy day. 72 already in Janesville, Boscobel at 71. We track these temperatures all the way up towards 88 later on, with heat indices into the upper 90s at this point. There will be a small chance for showers and thunderstorms, but that chance will be a little bit greater as we move into your Wednesday afternoon. This ridge of heat that we've been talking about for the past several days, that continues to build, and it is because of this that we have alert days in play for your holiday weekend. Saturday and Sunday are now alert days. Temperatures will be in the low 90s, heat indices around 100.
Thank you very much, Chris, and thanks for joining us on this Tuesday morning, folks. Enjoy that sun. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning.